Are you tired of all the uneducated noise you're getting from the droves of YOLO meme coin peddling douchebag gurus out there trying to use you as their exit liquidity? Would you rather learn a competent university level set of skills that will guide you in managing and investing for the rest of your life? Join us 3 days a week at Digital Investor. Develop your knowledge of game theory, cognitive bias, macroeconomics, monetary theory, investment theory, psychology of the crowds, and more. For more info on Digital Investor and how it can help you, reach out at nickblacknext.com.
What? What this is? Yeah. Oh. All right. Here, you get to say hi. Say hi. Say hi, little beauty. Come on. Say hi. Say hi. She's so fluffy. Oh. And now I get the husband. Yeah. All right. Okay. I think we can get to back to the good stuff. Oh, you know what? It looks dirty, but let's see if I got my little blue towel. I always have a little blue towel somewhere. Oh, this will have to work. Let's see. Ooh, way better. Normal coffee today. It's an election day. It's going to be madness. So I'm with normal coffee. And a whole lot of cream. All right, let's see. Hello, hello. Let me get through all these old greetings right here. Let me turn up my intensity for my rest mode on my electric leg workout. Woo. You got to make it where it grits your teeth. All right, where am I putting this guy? I guess we're going to put it way over there. All right. So we will look at markets. I had some cool articles. Let me see if I can get them to pull up because I'm on the other computer. And on this one, it's a little trickier getting meme coin risk. Is that the one I did yesterday? Yeah. Okay, so we got some cool stuff. We do have some cool stuff. Let me see. Okay, opinion piece. Okay, there's that. Let me see if I can get it right. That one. That one. We got some interesting news about pension funds. We got some interesting news. Did you guys hear Coinbase basically got called out for charging these exorbitant listing fees. The leg workout system. Well, this is a full workout system. It's called Compex, and this is the SP8. And it's basically an electric one that you hook up, and then you can do a full workout while you sit. It's easier, and it's not a workout. You're not getting cardio, but you're getting the muscle aspect of it. So I figure if I'm going to sit for an hour, I might as well be doing, a leg workout for an hour. Why not, right? So there we go. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. So today, where's our banner at? We're definitely on election day shenanigans, which is going to be going. We're not going to know anything really until about 7 p.m. Eastern. So 4 p.m. our Pacific. I'll say our time because you guys are all over. 4 p.m. Pacific. So I think Brandon and I will come on at 4 p.m. Pacific. That's when numbers start coming in for the states that are very close, like Georgia and things like that. The other stuff is going to pretty much fall along party lines. So that's not super exciting. It's kind of quasi exciting, but not really. And I expect as these different states come in, and some of them we won't know until late tonight. And some of them, if they get challenged and the legal thing goes on, it could be a day or two. But it could already be over. Pretty much the simple way it boils down, if you just want to armchair quarterback it, is the Democrats need Pennsylvania for Comrade to win. Pretty much it's a must have. It's not a must have for Trump. So what it is, it's not easy. It's only 12 votes, but it's 12 is 12. And so the thing is, you want to be the first one to knock out 270. And so that's where we at. But I found some interesting articles that we're going to talk about that have nothing to do with the election. Well, one kind of, but not specifically election based. It's kind of like, okay, what happens next? And so one thing I thought was interesting, I like Funstrat has a guy, Tom Lee. I like him. He is cool. In my book, he's cool. I enjoy reading his stuff. He's not been always right, but he's basically called the trends correctly. So he's trends in the right direction. Anyway, Funstrat's Tom Lee sees a year-end rally as election uncertainty begins to fade. Obviously, it's going to fade completely today. It will have faded. It will be certainty. Anyway, Bernstein predicts Bitcoin's resilience and potential growth to 200,000 by 2025 amid fiscal challenges. The U.S. is in a recession. Clearly done. It's it's no longer a question. Anybody that doesn't see it, I hate to be absolutist, but anybody that doesn't see it is not looking at data. Period. Full stop. And I'm not going to go and beat that horse, but we're in a recession. And by the time they admit we were in a recession, the NBR, sometime next year, we'll be out of a recession. Maybe. We'll see. But anyway, Fundstrat Global Advisors Tom Lee and analysts from Bernstein predict robust markets ahead going into 2025, regardless of the results for the upcoming presidential election. While Lee expects a broader market rally across sectors, Bernstein highlights Bitcoin's resilience amid political uncertainty. So essentially, the fact that Bitcoin and these other assets held up so well during all of this wonky kind of pre-election chaos is a good sign for the Bitcoin. Tom Lee, managing partner and head of research at Fundstrat, recently shared his views on CNBC, stating that favorite economic fundamentals and a dovish Federal Reserve position make a strong case for a year-end rally. The Fed's going to have to. They're going to cut. And it's interesting. It's probably going to be 25 basis points on this one, although it should be 50. But it'll be 25. and there'll be probably another 25, or if there's some kind of something, an unwind in a bank or banks or some kind of black swanny, bad, chaosy, newsy, spammy, noisy thing that happens in mid to late November and early December, you could see a 50 basis point cut in December, but probably it's a 25 and a 25. Fair play. And that's going to keep going. The more data that piles up, the worse it gets. So this is not turning around anytime soon. So this is just the reality of, where we at. I wonder what Janet Yellen's going to say when they say we're in a recession. She's like, no, it's not possible. I said no more recessions. Anyway, according to Lee, sidelined cash could flow back into the markets as election-related uncertainty clears up. He said, I'm bullish only in the sense that election uncertainties cause a lot of people to de-risk and cash to sit on the sidelines. I believe that's also true. But the fundamentals have been good. Lee referenced strong earnings. I'm not sure from who, and Fed support as strong drivers once the uncertainty around election subsides. I don't agree with him. The earnings are not strong. And guidance from companies has been bad. I mean, you saw some company got pancaked 30, their stock went down 30% in like today. So I'm not sure that I completely agree with everything he says, but anyway, he believes that even with a divided or unified government, one way or the other, markets could perform well through the end of 2024 and beyond. Bitcoin should withstand political shifts. Lee's comments come alongside Bernstein's outlook on Bitcoin, which they say remains poised to withstand political shifts. In a note released on November 4th, Bernstein analyst highlighted Bitcoin structural drivers, including U.S. fiscal policy, record debt levels, yes, increased demand for hard assets, yes, factors. These are all factors that would support its long-term growth. According to Bernstein, Bitcoin remains the most resilient asset within crypto. Yeah, no shit. Where are they? Anyway, all right. And its limited market share compared to global fiscal assets leaves ample room for growth. The firm has set a price target of 200,000 by 2025. They don't mean by the beginning of 2025. They mean during 2025. Chamath Palihapitiya, he said 500,000. So, is a lot of this kind of wishful thinking? Yes, but it's also just looking at the environment we're going into where, they're not printing money right now. The Chinese are about to print money to a stupid degree, and they don't have a choice because their economy is a total dumpster fire. But other countries will do the same, because they don't know any difference. And then you got to look at the transfer mechanism. So it isn't simply that, okay, China, the Beijing bazooka. You got to see where they're pointing that bazooka. Are they pointing it into individuals' pockets, or are they pointing it into weird illiquid sectors of the market? Are they how do they direct stimulus funds? And that's the question of, will they ever make it into people's pockets and actually create some kind of fruitful growth in the economy? I don't know. I know that what the Fed does and what QE is in both here and in Japan, the transfer mechanism is almost non-existent. So the stock market likes it because they like the idea of it. It doesn't add more currency units in the stock market. People add more currency units in the stock market. But if the transfer mechanism looks more like COVID, where people get checks, cash money in their accounts that they can actually spend, then all bets are off. And you could see some kind of gross debasement in, kind of a continued, prolonged, attenuated, grinding debasement, more so than we already have. And yeah, you could see some of these other assets, Bitcoin and things like that, kind of moving as a clutch your pearls, scared of the State of the Union type thing. So we'll see. So you're getting price targets now that are big. Bernstein analysts also noted that while Bitcoin's recent ETF adoption was successful, bringing in over 23 billion in year-to-date inflows, it may add to its momentum regardless of who wins the presidency. They see a potential initial price response depending on the election outcome, with the Trump victory pushing Bitcoin towards 80 to 90,000, with a Harris win leading to a near-term dip around 50,000. I think in the 50s. I don't think 50. But I could see in the 50K, in that range. I think that's in the 50 to 60 range is fair. I just think it's people biased a dead heat. I don't think anything's priced in, and I think we're right in the middle. So I think it's another 10K down with the Harris win, and I do think it's 10 to 15 up. So I think we're 80 to 85 with a Trump win, and you're going to see all of the altcoins just rocket. Everything's going to rocket because there's going to be a little bit of euphoria. You will probably see just a rough sell-off, a pretty rough sell-off. A Harris win is probably bad for every single place where anybody puts money. It just is, because it's just more of the same. So we'll see. Today's going to be a pretty exciting day. All right. Binance Research warns that meme coins are risk a frenzy over fundamental innovation. You're like, what? What are they saying? Despite high failure rates, economic uncertainty fuels meme coin allure among millennials and Gen Z searching for quick gains that have little or no financial education. So it's kind of like we say, what would dummies do? This is exactly that. And there's kind of research to back it. Meme coins are a dummy trade. And if you walk with lames, you pick up a limp. A new report from Binance Research has raised red flags over the high risks in the meme coin market, revealing that 97% of those tokens have either failed or become inactive shortly after launch. Think about that for a second. 97%. 97? That's pretty much all. Anyway, the report also exposed widespread manipulation, where coordinated groups orchestrate pump and dump schemes that leave investors bearing the brunt of losses. However, the uneducated masses can't respond because they don't understand the mechanisms at play. Of course, although meme coins promise high rewards, the report cautioned that these volatile assets are often riddled with pitfalls. I mean, one I can think of is illiquidity, where you have a lot of fake money on paper, and the minute you sell 2 coins, the whole thing crashes to zero. The report traces the surge in meme coin popularity to economic pressures, especially among younger generations who face stagnant wages and rising living costs. And I would probably say that they have a bleak outlook on their kind of career path. They just don't think, look, it's just a casino. It's a very easy casino for dumb millennials and Gen Zs to play it. They don't have any financial education, not really, because they've never wanted it, because they feel like and have been told that they deserve, that they're entitled to so much. And it's not just them, by the way. There's a lot of boomers that feel entitled as hell. Oh, you don't deserve shit. You get what you get. Go out and earn it, or go fuck yourself. But you can't say that, because then people panic and you can't say that. You don't even know my pronouns. Okay. Fuck y'all selves. I don't know what the plural is for you with your hair, man, guy, girl thing, like whatever. Like, and I don't have any problem with people being whoever they want to be, but you can't wait for things to happen. And then when nothing happens, you get mad and you demand, I deserve. You don't deserve shit. You deserve what you earn. You eat what you kill. That's it. So the COVID-19 pandemic kind of reaffirmed this bad behavior. Because why? Because it gave a lot of people, a pay raise to sit at home and gamble. And so this accelerated with the transfer payments that increased investors' willingness to bet on speculative assets. Why? Because they had money they shouldn't have had, which was robbed from the future and debases the future and makes US dollars worth less in the future. So speculative assets like meme coins and stonks and a bunch of meme stocks and crap like that, so they could get the rapid gains. Not that they would know what to do with it anyway, because they would be sitting with a bag of money that they don't know how they really got it, and they certainly don't know how to manage it. Anyway, it's like the guy that wins the lottery and he starts giving financial advice. You're like, no, but I don't need your advice, buddy. You picked 6 numbers and you were probably drunk when it happened. Anyway, meme coins, often portraying a narrative of fairness and community involvement, offer an entry point into finance that feels accessible and relatable to new investors without investing experience and with little or no financial education. This is just the dumbest of the dumb. Anyway, the report warned that the appeal is misleading, as most meme coins lack any intrinsic value. Again, value is an argument, but or technical innovation. That is true. Relying instead on the internet virality and speculative hype. Yes, that surprises no one. Digital identity and risks. Beyond finance, meme coins have tapped into cultural symbolism, turning into emblems of online identity and community. Yeah, I'm. That's like those people that gamble. Like, I just do it for the fun. No one gambles for the fun. No one just likes to throw money away. I just light money on fire for the fun of it. I just go in my front yard, just lay out all the $100 bills. Oh, sorry, lay out all the $5 bills because I ain't got no hundreds, and I just light them on fire because it's fun. I love it. That's gambling. The report likened their appeal to the 2021 GameStop saga, suggesting that meme coins resonate as a form of social statement against the traditional financial systems. However, this is pushed by the creators of meme tokens, driven by the internet culture, and it allows new participants to feel like they are a part of a digital rebellion, further amplifying their viral reach and preying on the less financially educated. Again, convince them it's a movement. Hey, listen, you're not lighting $5 bills on fire on your driveway. You're standing up for something. Light those $5 bills. Light them with pride, man or woman or whatever, however many you are, however plural you are or not. I don't know. Can you be not plural and not plural? That's interesting. I want to be less than one. Everybody else is like many. Nope, not me. I want to be less than one. Hold on, let me select. I got to select my little character here. You got like a little video game thing. Okay, it's testing intensity. Anyway, it's argued that in the meme coin trend, while showcasing blockchain's power to unite global communities, diverts attention from innovations crucial to the crypto industry's future. Projects with substantive technological goals risk being sidelined in favor of assets that prioritize cultural impact over utility. And remember, this is all pushed by scummy devs that are trying to steal your shit, and influencers that are trying to steal your shit, all of them in cahoots. I mean, you guys saw the whole thing where Jimmy Mr. Beast, got caught, of course, pilfering projects he was a part of, pumping them and then pilfering them. Oh, I like Mr. Beast. He's so cool. He's a scumbag fucking thief like everyone else. All of these dudes. It's like, when is enough enough? Oh, well, if you can screw all the people that pay your rent, why wouldn't you, buddy? Stick it to him. Like, this is a guy worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and he's screwing people over a couple $1,000,000. These people are all just pieces of shit. And that's the problem. That's unfortunately the majority of the meme coin market. It's dudes looking at dummies and saying, let's take everything these idiots have because they don't know any better. And you know what? Let's package this up as a cultural revolution. Who's in? Who's coming with me? Get your goldfish. Get out of the office. You're fired. Your parking pass has been avoided? It's been voided. Can't park here. Okay. Well, that's pretty delicious. I went with some extra coffee. Some extra creamer today. It's quite tasty. All right. In better news, Michigan State Pension Fund expands crypto holdings with a $10 million Ethereum purchase. Ethereum, you say? The fund now holds more Ethereum than Bitcoin, despite the latter's earlier ETF regulatory approval in January. The state of Michigan retirement system, overseeing $13.6 billion in pension fund assets, has begun diversifying its crypto holdings following its foray into the asset class earlier this year. In a 13F disclosure filed Monday with the SEC, the state fund revealed that it has picked up $10 million worth of shares from Grayscale's Ethereum Trust, ETH. Well, they blew that because they touched anything that said Grayscale. So let's not give them too many kudos. However, good for them. What's surprising is that the fund now owns more Ethereum than it does Bitcoin, despite the latter being approved first by the securities regulator many, many months in advance. Monday's records showed that the fund scooped up a further 1.1 million worth of the Ethereum shares from the digital asset manager's Ethereum mini trust. It also marks the first U.S. state pension fund to invest in Ethereum ETFs. Slowly, the dominoes begin to fall with the first one. Providing crypto enthusiasts with confidence, the asset is becoming more entrenched in the traditional financial world. Real quick, does anybody here think, just show of hands, does anybody here think that Grayscale gets involved in investments to lose money? Does anybody here think that when Grayscale pushed for the Ethereum ETF, that they thought, well, this is a gamble. This is a gamble. We might lose money. We might make money. It's hard to say. Does anybody think there was like any gray area to this? Anyone? Bueller? Those guys are kingmakers, man. They don't lose money. They basically print it. Do you remember when the COVID stimulus, when they were actually given money to buy their own junk bond ETF? Do you guys remember that? The U.S. government, through its stimulus measures, gave money, like currency units, financed by us, by the way, gave it to BlackRock to buy their own ETF. And this is the best part, it was a junk bond ETF. They gave taxpayer money from the future that they stole. They didn't steal it. They sold it. They sold it into existence. It's not like we voted on it. In order to buy their own ETF, which they did, their own junk bond ETF to protect economy. BlackRock doesn't lose. Anyway, all of this follows the fund of the Michigan pension funds. The Michigan Retirement Fund. Their purchase of 6.6 million worth of ARC21 shares Bitcoin ETF in July, which followed the SEC's regulatory approval of the asset class for the investment vehicle in January. ETH represents a fractional ownership of Ethereum held by Grayscale on behalf of the trust shareholders. ETHs experience significant net outflows because Grayscale continues to shit the bed because they do not know what they're doing. I don't want to say it's the worst company in crypto, but it's the worst fringe company in crypto. You just can't experience failure on this level without explanation. Like it's inexplicable how they continue to fail. Which makes you realize this was a math decision, and they knew that they would screw over enough people, and they do not care. It's simply a math decision. This is Grayscale saying, F you, you're going to pay our fees, and if you don't like it, F you, you're still going to pay our fees to exit. This should tell you more than anything that Grayscale is sketchy, and it's not in it for crypto. Grayscale does not care about anything other than Grayscale. And you know what? If I own Grayscale equity, if I was one of those, I would probably be like, yay, just follow the numbers, buddy. Capitalism. Anyway, on its first day of trading, the Grayscale flagship Ethereum fund saw net outflows of $484 million. By early August, total outflows had exceeded $2 billion. And we're certainly further than that, because the further the clock ticks, the more they lose money. Anyway, the launch of multiple spot U.S.-based Ethereum ETFs by firms this year, including BlackRock, Fidelity, Bitwise, has all but intensified competition, particularly when it comes to fees. ETH, Grayscale, charges 2.5%. Rivals BlackRock and Fidelity charge 0.12 and 0.25%. And that's only after the expiration of their fee waiver, which is slated for December 31st. So you're not paying anything right now in those funds. And even when you do, it'll be less than 1/10. In the case of BlackRock, less than 1/20th of what Grayscale's charging. So you gotta just wonder, like, what's going on over at Grayscale? Anyway, good for the Michigan retirement system. I think they have a chance. They have a chance. They're going to make it. Those crazy kids are going to make it. So good for them. All right. Let's shoot over. Let's take a look at markets. If you have questions, well, A16Z is not quite as clear. Remember, they've done some things that are cool, but they're not a kingmaker. They're also A16Z. Andreessen Horowitz is not. It's not even on discussion level. The size of BlackRock. It wouldn't even be a rounding error. Everything that A16Z has would not even be a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what's going on over at BlackRock. So I wouldn't confuse that. It's just that we hear about them more and more in the crypto space because they're one of the few VCs that has somewhat of a good track record for not pushing complete garbage. But if you look at all the assets that they've held, there's a lot of garbage in there. What I do like about them is that they hire smart people. So they hired Tim Roughgarden, who's one of the best game theorists there is, and computer science professors. He was at Columbia. He was at Stanford. I think he's still at Columbia. But anyway, they hired him as a consultant, and he's been working on a lot of stuff over there for them. But yeah, A16Z is not. They're a little blip. So yeah. And of course they were hired as consultants to recommend. It's kind of like when they brought in Jamie Dimon to consult on, the unwind of those banks last year. And he decided that rather than being consultant, he would actually bid on some of the assets. And then he got a loss sharing agreement with the U.S. taxpayer, which I don't think I ever voted on that. Where we would share in the losses with Jamie in case his bet that he got quasi illegally didn't go right. So these guys, man, they're all, but at least, you know what? These lions don't change their stripes, right? Like they are them. Jamie Dimon is scumbag Jamie Dimon always, like always, never changes. You can count on him. These people are all who they are, which I guess that's good. Mark Cuban, the dummy that he is, well-intentioned, but he's a fool. He's Mark Cuban. You can always count on him to call tops. He will. If he buys it, you should be selling it all the time. So, I mean, that right there, if Kamala had done some research, Comrade Kamala would not have brought him into the fold because you don't want him on your team. He is the scarlet letter, man. Anyway, let's go and look at what these markets are doing with all of this pre-election chaos. And remember, it's going to be many, many hours before anything substantive comes home, but still. Okay, the market in toto. Let's grab some different music. Let's go here. The market in toto right now, we're at 2.35. We're not quite 2.4 billion. Remember, a real bear market, a real bull market probably doesn't start until 3 trillion and below I would say below one or below that's it. It's a bear market. That's the end of the world. The corn right now is at $70,000. $7,000. We're going to see that jumping all over the place. And remember, Brandon and I are going to be on today at 4 p.m. Pacific. We're going to come on and just talk smoky and bull crap and all that and just watch these states come home. We'll be able to watch Georgia come home. They'll close the polls. So close at 8. So they would have just closed pretty much all of the East Coast polls or all of the voting in the East Coast would have been pretty much shut down. That's where, that pile of swing states is. So pretty interesting. So what do we got? Oh, the Doge. Yes, the Elon vote. It's interesting if Doge ends up being a better predictor of the election than anything else. There's like, watch Bitcoin. Maybe watch Doge, because this is just a straight up vote on Elon, right? So we'll see. If the Doge is 30 cents by the end of the day, we'll know that the world believes, here comes Trump. We'll see. But anyway, 70K, we're back above 70K again, which means that at least as of right now, there were some great buying opportunities over the weekend. I don't know, show of hands, and don't say what you bought and don't say how much you spent, but did you participate? Did you do any dollar cost averaging this weekend? I did. I got a few things, little things, little nuggets, little gems. If you did, curious what you got, but you certainly don't ever disclose how much you got. But if you're following, some kind of your own logic and reason, good for you. Let's see, a few limit orders that got, okay, all right, I see you. So what did I do? I grabbed some optimism. Matter of fact, right here, because it actually went lower and came back up. So I'm dead nuts even on that. I grabbed some gambly stuff. That's gambly stuff. What other stuff did I grab? Some more gambly stuff. That's some gambly stuff. Nothing that I would tell anybody else to do. I don't know that we need to watch cloud anymore. I think we are we past cloud? I think we did it. Those of you that are in Jupiter that got cloud as rewards probably already sold it. Kept it, whatever. I sold mine into more Jupiter. So I think we're done with cloud. I think we can leave cloud behind. Ooh, I know. God, it was at 137 yesterday. 137. I was like, but I bought at 143. I was like, nope, that's my purchase. That's my buy. Okay. As we go into the bottom of the list, a lot of stuff is coming. You're going to get a lot more information from the Twin team, which is cool. You're going to get a lot more information from the Hypercycle team, which is cool. Boy, this is going to be a very exciting end of the year, right? Starting kind of with today. Things are going to get nutty, but you're going to get a lot of information out of Hypercycle, a lot of news. You'll get news out of Twin. We're going to have the Libra, their official launch. We're thinking second or third week December. They're preparing, they're touring and talking and going and thising and thatting, and pools will be set up. Pools are coming for Twin. New pools are coming for Hypercycle. So that's cool. So a lot of cool stuff there. For those of you that are curious, Brandon and I will do a deeper dive on this, but Pith is it's an Oracle network, but it's much faster, much more elegant. It doesn't get its information from like CoinMarketCap and stuff like that. It gets its information directly from exchanges, which is kind of cool. This is certainly not a recommendation. I'm just seeing people start mentioning it, talking about it. And so it's on the radar. That's all we'll say for there. On the radar. Oh, you got it in 135. That is good. That is really good. So you're already crushing. Damn. You guys both beat me by like 10 cents. Not jealous. Maybe a little sideline jealous. Arweave. It's in my range. Technically, I think 1375 was where I should start buying. I think it was in the 12s yesterday, and I was like, I should start buying back that position. Where did I see it? Yeah, I did see it in the 12s. I knew I did. But on the 7-day, it's just been kind of getting kicked in the dirt. Anyway, it's in my range again. So I'm gonna consider it. I keep telling myself, when do I feel like I need it? I don't feel like I need it. So there you go. Howard in the house. So yeah, I don't feel like I need it yet. Anyway, that's kind of what I'm looking at. They is again, People are starting to talk about it. So I am curious about it. I tell you, first chink in the armor is the website looks terrible. That's usually a bad sign. So for me, this would be if I do it, it's going to be a play for a pump, and then I would book it. But I think it's been as high as like $1.10. Let me look. Let's go to the all. Where were we at? Okay, $1.14. That was the toppity top, but the realistic top was about 90, 95 cents, where you could have made some trades. So maybe there's something there. Maybe there's a free 2x. That on that one, if I got a 2x, I would immediately clip my position in half. I haven't found anywhere to stake or anything like that either. So it's like you can't even monetize that asset. That's dead money. So if I did that, I would play the hype cycle. I'm going to be just kind of watching everything as this day progresses and see where the action is at. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be all over the place. You could see big swings as states come in. Also, a lot of people are going to misinterpret Georgia. They may or may not say this, but there was a commentator early that was saying you have to be careful because a lot of the early voters that mail in and things like that are Democrat. And so what you'll see is the early vote come in, and a lot of times that's not a big percentage. Sometimes it is, depends on the state. So like with Georgia, you're going to see the count come in probably, unless Georgia's a blowout for the red, it's going to come in Democrat at first because those early votes that have already been, they're already in the system. I think they may already have those numbers because Georgia restructured the way they do voting and the way they collect and cure and calculate and things like that and stamp and certify votes. So Georgia will get this big giant number that's not quite accurate. That's going to be blue leaning. If Georgia comes in and it's anywhere close between Trump and Kamala, Georgia wins that. Trump wins that. It should look like a blowout in a sense. If it's not a blowout, then the Kamala failed Georgia. So that's going to be an interesting one. But I think you're going to see Bitcoin get all over the place, and you're going to see people that don't have all the information. They're just looking at the headline number. They're going to go, oh man, these states are going to all fall for Kamala. Just be patient because it's going to be a lot of back and forth. And there's going to be a few of these where it's just a few votes. And then, of course, we're going to get the litigation and all this kind of stuff. And the tricky part about Pennsylvania is the districts, each individual district determines the structure of their. What did the one guy said? This is a decentralized voting state where every district has their own say, and you're going to get all sorts of crazy numbers coming in, and it might not be unless it's a blowout one way or the other, which it doesn't look like it would be. It's going to be hard to determine that one. And so, why Pennsylvania is so important is because along that path, both candidates see that it, like, if the Democrats win it, they can still lose, but they have a much better chance. If the Republicans win it, that's probably it. And so that's why I think what you get from the media, like I've been listening to different media outlets talk about the election. It's not so fair and balanced. You're not getting, I don't think you're getting the real story anywhere. The only people that you get the real story from are the actual number analysts. There's always these dudes that are, not to be sexist, but they're mostly dudes. And they're like, okay, this state goes this way. If this state goes this way, this one's going to go this way. Those guys are not biasing anything. They're just reading the math. Those are the only guys I want to listen to. Because if you listen to the announcers, they're all slanting, of course. So it's going to be a very interesting day. There's going to be a lot of misreads and wrong reads throughout the day. You could see Bitcoin today hit an all-time high and give it up and hit an all-time high again and give it up again. Cray, right? Possible. But I think most of the fun starts tonight about 8 p.m. Eastern, which is about 5 p.m. Well, it would start, I think, 4 p.m., but I know 8 p.m. Eastern is when I think Georgia and some of those other states come home. So we'll see. But again, we may get early numbers early, or I don't know. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay, so you're liking C-SPAN. Cool. Well, anyway, we'll jump on and we'll talk about all this later this afternoon. So we'll do a part 2. I think what we'll do is we'll wind this down. Do you guys have any basic questions, things that were frustrating you, or things that you'd like some clarity on as we go into this day? My final read on all this before we meet up again tonight is going to be, oh, and by the way, if you have friends that have never kind of listened to me and Brandon, me curse and Brandon not curse, tonight might be a fun one, just because we don't have any plan other than just to BS while all this craziness is going down and watch these prices get all wop-jawed. So invite your friends. I'll set up that show, by the way. I'll set that one up right when this is over. So there'll be an active link for tonight. All right. Great. Tried my phone specific. Okay. Peanut and Fred. Son of a bitch. I don't even want to talk about that. That makes me so mad. Can you believe? I mean, what a bunch of douchebag bureaucrats. Boy, if I was the one who pulled the trigger on that decision, I would not want to show my face anywhere. You're going to put a squirrel down. Well, we thought about rabies. Like, did you test him for rabies? No. So you just put him down and you didn't even test? No. Don't you think you should have? Maybe. Come on, man. What a scumbag. What just an unhappy, bureaucratic piece of shit scumbag. You guys know about this, right? This guy had these pets. He had like a pet squirrel. He had a pet raccoon. The squirrel Peanut had like 500,000 followers, 600,000 followers on Instagram. And then someone called protective service. Oh, animal, this is dangerous. That animal has a bad working environment. You look at this guy's place. This guy's place is awesome. Bad environment. Peanut had gotten hurt apparently. And he was like, he had nursed it back to health. I mean, Jesus. And so some do-gooder piece of shit called animal control or animal rescue. Yeah, whatever. And yeah, animal rescue. They rescued him and then they nuked him. They gave him a death shot. What kind of shit is that? That just makes me mad. Like, you just know that there are so many stupid, unhappy people. They're not just unhappy. They're unhappy and they're fucking stupid. Like, in what world? I don't care what your political leanings are. I don't care what. In what world does that make sense? Yeah, he has 7 years. That's right. The mom was hit by a car. He rescues him. And these bureaucratic fucking assholes gave him the good night shot, which thankfully it was like peaceful. But like, dude, man, you get to a point where like no life is sacred. Get the fuck out of here. That's someone where I would beat them up and gladly get arrested. If I ever came face to face with that dude, I'm sure it was just a smug, self-important fucking asshole, bureaucratic piece of shit. I would rip that dude's fucking face off of his face and be like, cool, chain me up. I'll be happy to go tell a judge why I did it. Fucking douche. Anyway. Peanut and Fred. And I don't even want to talk about Fred. I love raccoons. I don't even go there. I don't even want to go there. So anyway, tonight's going to be fun. All day will be fun. Don't get too caught up in this because it doesn't mean anything until you get the final number. Unless it's such a blowout in some areas where you have to concede, hey, it is what it is. Now listen, if things don't go as planned, if they look ugly or gross or depressing or whatever, this too shall pass, because at least even if Comrade wins, which I don't think so, I feel pretty certain that that's not a realistic outcome. But even if the Comrade wins, this too shall pass. Yes, things are going to suck for 2 or 3 weeks, and there'll be some buying opportunities, but none of this changes the value proposition on these assets. None of it. So, you know what I mean? Who cares? So if Comrade wins, yeah, we're going to have more Gary Gensler and all that. He may feel a little bit empowered, but you know what? She may not like what he's doing either. He's put a kind of a bad, she's kind of colored them bad too. He's probably maybe going away anyway. There's a good chance that he goes away anyway. Now, who's going to be pushed up in his place? One of the other douchebags, one of the douchebag commissioners. It won't be Hester Pierce. It won't be Uyeda. It will be one of the douchebags, but at least it will not be Gary. And there may be a point where they are a little bit more malleable to common sense than is he. And you start to I wonder, I'm like, I don't understand what Gary's ideas were. I think he let pride get in the way of common sense and hubris, and he just became a dick. So there's a good chance that he goes away either way. Anyway, yeah. Oh, she was a photographer who bragged about what she did. Now she's in hiding. Oh, she better be in hiding. She better be in hiding. God. Oof. Anyway, whew. All right. We'll see you guys soon. Let's call it a day. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything. My poor, insolvent, drunk, strung out on meth, criminal ass, gangster ass, dead grandmother wouldn't do, or Brandon, who is probably cold as hell. He probably wears 2 tank tops because it's so cold. He's like, what good is that? I don't know, but he probably does. Keep the core warm. Anyway, we'll see you tonight.
If you're an accredited investor and you want in on angel, seed round or early round equity and token opportunities in the artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency space, schedule an interview at nickblacknext.com. In life, you can either be really good, really lucky, or just be first. Being first is so much easier. Schedule a digital private client interview today at nickblacknext.com.
Terrified, wandering mind, the seams have come undone. You've been telling lies to these eyes as if they'd never seen the sun. Now you've let your guard down and your heart is exposed. Now you've let your guard down, but how could you have known that I'm the big fish round here? You're a small fish. I could make you disappear. You should know this. I'm the big fish round here. You're a small fish.